What's up, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, and the overall markets. But just note that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Webull link. If you deposit any amount of money, you're guaranteed 12 free stocks. If you deposit $500, you're guaranteed 20 in total. And deposit $25,000 or more, and you're guaranteed 75. The offer ends in just 10 days. Anyways, now let's talk about what's happening with these charts. So I just want to mention that so far, SPY saw a very, very interesting day. We started off with this nice little pump up to this about 584 zone. And then what happened was, and I called this out, that there would be a bit of a dip that's coming. This would lead us all the way down to 580 if we had lost 582. But then in my next video, I talked about how, we saw some buyers defending us. So I said to watch this 582 area to see if this holds. And that's what happened so far. So now I'm going to tell you this. We're going to be watching this critical support because one thing worth mentioning is that every time SPY has touched a 20 EMA, we kind of bounced and bounced and bounced many times. And so far, we're seeing buyers defending the 20 EMA again at 582.2. If the buyers hold this overnight, if we hold and close above this 20 EMA, the green line, and then tomorrow morning we're above it, there's a good chance this is going to try to rebound a little bit off of it. Okay. But if we close below this, and even tomorrow morning we remain below this 582.2 area, there's going to be a risk of SPY dipping back down to 580. So are we about to see a rug pull or not? Depends on if we hold this 582 area. If we close above this for now, there's going to be a better chance that we try to get that bounce. If not, there's going to be a higher probability of us getting some downsides. Just be very mindful of that. We'll see if 582.2 holds. That's going to be critical for the way we close. On ES, we're showing some weakness. We have 58.92.5 as our resistance, and we have support at 58.80. We'll see how well it holds between these levels. It does look like it might tip a little bit, so just be very mindful of that. But can we reclaim 58.92? That's something we're going to be watching for. ES looks a little bit weaker than that of SPY. For Nvda, I mentioned as long as we're above 140, we're looking for 142.5 as our target, then 144. But I did mention to you all that if we're above 140, there's a risk of there's higher risk because anytime we were above 140 historically, we did reject on Nvidia. So as we're approaching these highs, be careful. We'll see how well it holds above the 142 area, but there is still potential for 144 as long as that holds. Bitcoin held 66,974. We're looking for 68,000 as our target now. If we were to lose 66,975, we'd be looking for a big dip back down. Overall, we're doing a good job and we could push a little bit higher on Bitcoin. For Tesla, we're just range bound, unfortunately. We're not really doing much. We're stuck between 215 and 220. 217 is the main zone is kind of like stuck at, so it's just shuffling for now. I think Tesla may continue to do this until we get earnings. That's what it's waiting for. That's when there's going to be a big move, so we're just waiting for that. NQ got bought back up, but it's barely holding 20,447, so it's barely holding its support. If this holds, it could attempt to just consolidate, and if it loses this, it's going to be dipping. For the last couple of days, it's been range bound. We have 20,300 as support and 20,500 as resistance. I think we're just going to be range bound for now until we see which way it breaks. It just remains stuck. Same thing with the QQQ. We're stuck between 496 and 490 like one as our main support zone, going back and forth and back and forth. We'll see which way it breaks, so be very patient nonetheless. For Aapl, we're also just fighting this tough resistance around 236. If it rejects here, we're going to be looking for a dip back down to about 233. If this breaks, we could be pushing higher. I do want to call out that this is a tough resistance, and every time we have hit 237, we did see Aapl reject. Just be careful. It's a tough resistance. If 237 breaks, we turn back to bullish. If not, 235 could be coming back again. So just be very mindful of that. The IWM looks kind of weak right here, especially as we're below 222, the 50 EMA. If we don't reclaim 222, there's a risk of it dipping closer to about the 220.5 area. So we'll see how well that ends up holding up. For coin, we're getting bought back up with Coinbase, with Bitcoin. I was saying that it's going to be dipping to about 206 and then try to bounce. We actually came just short of that. We bounced off 208, so a little bit above what I was expecting. But it's okay, guys, because now buyers are coming back. As long as we're above 210, we could be retesting 220. So I think it could be making its way back up to 220 as Bitcoin is helping it. Amazon's holding support at 187, excuse me. So we could be looking for 190 as a target again, but it's just very, very range bound. It's not doing a whole lot. Meta has been dipping. It came down to our target of 570. And I said to watch and see if we hold. So now we're holding, and we have like a falling wedge-like structure that's developing. So if we break past 575, this could be a breakout. If we continue to fall, we're looking for some downside. We'll see if this breaks or not, but this wedge remains. So we'll see if we get that break. Microsoft is range bound between these levels, going back and forth, not really doing much. It could push closer to about 418 than maybe 420, but then I still think it's going to be range bound. Google's also stuck within this range. We're looking for 166 as our resistance and 165 as our support. It has potential to push above 166, but overall, it still remains range bound. That being said, I thank you all so much for listening. That's it for your update. We'll see how well SPY holds up here. Do we hold 582.2 or do we get a big rejection off this head and shoulders? We'll have to wait and see. Um, as of right now, we're trying to hold our 20 EMA, the green line. So if this holds, it could rebound tomorrow. So we'll just have to wait and see. So let's see how it closes. Then we'll see how it opens tomorrow. If we're still above that trend line or above that very, very key EMA, then that's going to lead to a very, very big move. So we'll wait and see. With that being said, I thank you all for listening. Have a great day. I'll be back in a couple of hours for another update, and peace out.